Be sure to punch that like and subscribe button. And if you're listening to the replay of this live, be sure to let me know and drop it below your 2 cents as we go throughout the video. What up? What up? What up? Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm Jay, and this is our 2 cents, where we talk everything boxing, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. In today's live, we will be discussing Bill Haney exposed, Ellerbe sets the record straight, Shakur retires, Canelo versus Crawford, is it happening? And everything else in between. It's been a very interesting week in boxing. I know I'm on late tonight. I had an extremely busy day. I said I was going live every Sunday. I'm sticking to that. Unfortunately, I haven't got a time down yet, but I'm just going to try different times and see which ones work out. Let's see. We got Golden in the building. What up, Golden? Ariana, what's up, sis? That holy boy, what's going on? What is up with y'all? What y'all been up to this fine Sunday? What y'all been up to this fine Sunday? So, man, listen, I don't know if it's always been this level of drama in boxing and I just wasn't paying attention like that to notice it, or if this is just some new things going on. Like, I mean, I'm sure it's always been drama in boxing, but I'm starting to feel like this is kind of next level. But shout out to everybody that's here today. Please be sure to punch that like and subscribe button. Make sure to drop comments in the chat as we go throughout the video. I'm going to go through a couple of things first, then I'm going to be dropping the link so everybody can hop up here. We can mix it up and everybody be able to drop their 2 cents. So I'm not even, I don't even know where to start. Let me see. Where should we start? Where should we start? Let's start here since it's a lot of this talk going on today. The obsession with Tank Davis. What is up with the obsession with Tank Davis? And I'm just gonna flat out say it. I'm a Tank Davis fan, and I don't want to say that I'm biased, but like it's 2 cents boxing. So when I come on here, I'm just giving my opinion on things that are going on. So, you know, this isn't just one of those channels where I'm going to have all the facts and all the information and anybody can be right or wrong. This channel's not for that. This is just a channel for people to come and discuss what they've been hearing around the streets and what they think about it. So originally, I had this topic wrote down because as we go throughout the week, you know, I write the topics down that I can talk about on my Sunday live because we're going to be able to mix it up. But just a couple of hours ago, so I guess I'll start from the end and go to the beginning, right? Just a couple of hours ago, I was seeing that Gervonta Tank Davis was calling out Conor Benn or talking to Conor Benn about a fight. And I just start thinking, and now all of a sudden Tank Davis is a duck because he can fight Conor Benn, and Conor Benn weighed in at 170 on fight night, and now everybody's saying he's a duck because he could fight Devin Haney if that's the case, and this and this and that. And first, I started thinking in my head, what weight does Conor Benn even fight at? So they weighed in at like 150 pounds or something like that. So then I started thinking, like, does this fight even make sense? They weighed in at 150 pounds. So why would anybody think that Tank is finna fight him? Why would Tank even be entertaining him? It just doesn't even make any logical sense. And we just seen the interview with Ellerbe, which is why I said we was going to be setting the record straight. We just seen the interview with Ellerbe. He said that Tank Davis is a 135 pounder and that he could possibly go to 130 if need be. Now, when Ellerbe said that, that led me to believe that Tank would most likely go down to fight before he goes up to fight. That's what that made me think. Hold on a second, y'all. Hello? Okay, I'm back. So that's what that made me think, that he will probably go down in weight before he moved up in weight in order to make that fight. So for him to be calling out Conor Benn, like, is he trolling? Like, why is he doing that? Y'all can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. Okay, yeah, is he trolling? Like, why is he doing that? And so then I seen Bill Haney walking up in the middle of the press conference talking to Conor Benn, talking about how he would like to make a fight and he would like to see him in the ring together and all of this stuff. And I'm just like so confused at what is going on. Like, first of all, who is Conor Benn? Neither Tank nor Devin fights at Conor Benn's weight class. And Conor Benn hasn't even been vindicated for cheating. So everybody wants to fight the incredible edible egg all of a sudden. And I'm not understanding that. The man from my understanding, I thought he was a 154 pounder. The man weighed in at 150, so I guess they fought at a catch weight. He didn't even look that great in the fight. In my opinion, he's never looked that great to me. I've never even really been a fan of Conor being like that. First off, I'm really not a fan of the UK fighters, but I do watch some of them. So now, apparently, him and Eddie Hearn's supposed to be talking. And this is the thing. This is what people have to realize, or at least this is what I've realized. Anything about negotiating in the public, you might as well chalk it up with a grain of salt. You might as well chalk it up with a grain of salt. Ain't no way to negotiate in the public. There's no way that Tank is finna fight Conor Benn. What weight is he gonna fight Conor Benn at? Is he gonna go to 140? Is Conor Benn gonna come down to 147 and Tank's gonna go up to 147 to fight him? Is he gonna come down to 140? Is he gonna fight him at a catch weight? Is he gonna do any of that in order to fight Conor Benn? So then I thought about another perspective of it. Well, I'm gonna get to that. So before we had the whole Conor Benn thing, and just to give my 2 cents on that, I don't think he's about to fight Conor Benn. I don't even know why Tank Davis is even giving Conor Benn all of this attention. And I don't know if he's kind of like trying to throw a dart at Devin, like, it don't matter who you want to fight, I can come snatch him away from you. I don't know exactly what's going on with that, but to me, it's not making any sense, and I'm so confused about it. And it seems like everything Tank does, and I'm everything Tank does, everything Bill does, it seems to just throw everybody up in a whole uproar. Like, all the attention is focused on them two right now. And it's cool, the attention being focused on Tank, positive or negative, any promo is good. But the attention being focused on Bill, like, Bill is not even the fighter. He's not even the fighter. And you know good and well PBC is not about to be fooling with Matchroom for no doggone Conor Benn fight. At least I don't think so. Now, it is boxing, and anything is possible. Anything is possible. But I really thought that it was odd. It's one thing for Tank to be tweeting and talking noise to Ben, because even Conor Benn called out Earl Spence. Could y'all imagine if Earl Spence took a Conor Benn fight, how they would clown Earl? I mean, I feel like he would just get clowned, because why are you fighting Conor Benn? Why are you fighting Conor Benn? That's equivalent to Crawford fighting Avanesian, in my opinion, just to give my 2 cents. So before all this drama happened with the Conor Benn fight, it was also some news dropped about Tank Davis' possible next opponent. Now, before, we were thinking that he possibly would fight Frank Martin next. And some people was cool with the Frank Martin fight. Some people were saying it was a cherry pick. People gonna feel how they feel about it. And I'm starting to believe that if it's anybody but Devin Haney, nobody is going to be satisfied with who Tank Davis fights next. Nobody's going to be satisfied with who Tank Davis fight next. But let's put it in perspective, right? About the Tank Davis and who he's fighting next. Tank has been out of the ring for a while. He's been in jail. He's been dealing with a lot of personal issues. And so I'm understanding that most likely his next fight will probably be a tune-up, right? He's not Earl. Earl Spence say he don't do no tune-ups, right? He's not Earl. He do tune-ups. So his next fight will be a tune-up. So off the rip, that should already kind of tell you that the opponent is not going to be as satisfactory as everybody wants the opponent to be, because it's going to be a tune-up. Now, just the other day, I think it was Friday, I heard people saying he would fight Manny Pacquiao or Gary Russell Jr. Which one of the Russells? Y'all let me know in the chat. Which one of the Russells? The one that's coming up, ain't been in a ring, coming off an injury. That's the Russell he will be fighting next. Now, I say this all the time, right? We should not hold fighters to standards that they don't hold themselves to, because that's where the frustration comes in, right? So if Tank's goal is to make money and make the most profitable fights he can make, then that's probably how y'all should think about who his next opponent is going to be. Who is who is the most profitable fight he could make? So, who do you all think that could be a tune-up and be profitable, right? That's the way I'm thinking about it. Who could be a tune-up and be profitable? Do I want to see Tank Davis, quote unquote, fight the top competition and the best fighters? Of course I do. Of course I do. But I'm not the fighter. And that's obviously not his goal. Do I want to see Tank Davis fight Manny Pacquiao? Absolutely not. Manny Pacquiao is like 45 years old. I mean, nope. Like, I don't even know why Manny Pacquiao is going back pro. Like, dude, you're 45. Like, that's a little dangerous. I thought you was about to do the exhibition with Floyd. I mean, that'll be cool. I would like to see that. But I don't want to see you back in the ring with these young guns, especially no Tank Davis. Would Manny Pacquiao be a good, quote unquote, tune-up for Tank Davis? I don't even know if that'll be a good tune-up for Tank Davis. Would Gary Russell Jr. be a good tune-up for Tank Davis? I mean, listen, Gary has been asking for this fight for years, but he's been out of the ring. He's been inactive. He already only fought once a year anyway, and he's coming off an injury. And that's another issue I have with the PBC. That's really one of my main issues and my main gripes with the PBC. And one of the only things I could probably complain about from them is that, and it's probably not them, maybe it's the fighters. They put they put themselves in situations to where, yeah, they're going into big money fights, but they're coming off long layoffs, they're coming off injuries, and they're not able to be competitive. So if it's anything that I would change about the PBC or the PBC fighters, it would be, let's be active. Let's go into top fights, competitive, not coming off long layoffs and not coming off injuries, right? Like, that would be my biggest gripe or the biggest con, in my opinion, to PBC. So we don't know who Tank Davis' next opponent is. I mean, every week, at least 2 or 3 times a week, is something coming out about Gregory, what's going on? Smooth Criminal, what's up? Jeffrey in the building, what is up, y'all? What is up? What is up? Appreciate y'all for stopping by. Make sure you punch that like button. Every week is something going on with Tank. I think last week I heard Tank was fighting in the UK and the pay-per-view was going to be $150. How true that is, I don't know, but I'm not hearing about that anymore. So it's like really a weird obsession with Tank Davis. And it's not even like they're obsessed with like, who is next? Who is next? It's an obsession with trying to just downplay him. Every little rumor that comes out, everybody making videos about it, saying something negative about him. I mean, I guess it's cool. You the face of boxing, you know, a lot of people like Floyd Mayweather made their careers off people disliking them, right? But Floyd kind of made you dislike him with the way he carried himself, the way he talked, flashing the money. Tank barely even say anything. He barely says anything. And it's just so much hate towards this guy, and I don't get it. Now, I would love to see Tank shut the haters up, quote unquote haters up, and fight some top competition. But who would that be? I hear a lot of people saying, well, Tank ain't never been in a 50-50 fight. And every time you ask, who do y'all want to see Tank fight? So he can satisfy y'all saying he's not fighting no top competition. They say Shakur, which is at top rank, and you know Bob is not making the fight. And they say Devin Haney, and Devin Haney is at 140 pounds. So I don't think that he doesn't want to fight Haney or he will not fight Haney or it's about a rehydration clause and all of that. In my opinion, just to give my 2 cents, it seems as though Devin and Bill don't want to cooperate to get the fight made. They want to be the B side, but they want to dictate terms and say how much they're going to get paid and all of this stuff, right? And again, all of this stuff is my opinion and my 2 cents. But recently, I seen an interview with Leonard Ellerbe. So before we switch topics, let me read everybody's. I'm trying to figure out the format, you know what I'm saying, how I'm gonna do things. So before we switch topics, let me read everybody's comment. That whole boy says, right, Tank and his team already said he didn't like the weight at 40. Everybody like, he already fought at 40, so he can fight at 40 again. And now, ever since he said something to Conor Benn, it's just going crazy. So how can he fight Conor Benn and he came in at 100? That's a duck. That's a duck. I mean, they just talking trash back and forth. Let's wait till they actually trying to make a fight or negotiating for a fight before we start the name calling. That whole boy say Conor Benn is a bum and a cheat. Ariana say facts 2 cents. Jeffrey T says, I believe what people are missing is Floyd beef with Team Haney. They are not going to help Haney get paid. Proof. So is that what we're dealing with, Jeffrey? The fact that they just don't want to get them paid? It says Tank was just talking shit to Ben, and now once again he broke the damn internet. I mean, I remember earlier in the week he said, F Haney, somebody give me my crack pipe. And everybody ran wild with that. Oh, Tank on crack, as if the man would openly admit to doing crack on Twitter. Like, come on, y'all. Like, let's just use a little bit of common sense. Proof of that is Floyd and Ryan deal. Well, I heard Ryan and I heard Ryan and Devin are back in negotiations. Devin got on Twitter saying that, Oscar was tripping or whatever. And I can see why. This is my thing about Ryan. I like Ryan, right? I'm a fan of Ryan. Yes, he be capping. Yes, he be pulling out of fights. Yes, he be ducking. He be doing all of that, right? But a lot of it is Oscar also. A lot of this falls on Oscar also because they got their friction between them. So it's almost like Ryan be capping, but then I feel like Oscar be doing a little sabotaging. You know what I'm saying? So it's both of those things. So I do feel like Oscar might have sabotaged the fight with Rolly with a low ball offer. And I'm gonna get into that when I get into what Ellerbe said, because Ellerbe kind of said the same thing too. It says Tank is only messing with him because of how he performed last night. Like, I don't know if they had like some type of previous beef or whatever, or if they was beefing with each other before. I'm not sure. Smooth Criminal, what is up? Says Dev calling out Tank, but yet they entertaining another fight at a heavier weight. I mean, they're entertaining everybody. It's almost like, you know what I'm saying? Like they entertaining everybody. Like that girl you see around, like she flirt with everybody. She entertain anybody that's anybody. Show her a little attention. She just all in their face, giggling and laughing. Like that's what it's given to me. Because Bill, why did you get invited to the Conor Benn fight? You fight at 140, bro. So why did they invite you to the fight? Do you have plans on fighting Conor Benn? He said he was invited to the fight. And where was Devin? Why didn't Devin walk up there and say something to Conor Benn? Why are you addressing all the fighters? I don't understand that. Jeffrey say, you don't think Earl needs a soft touch? Listen, it's not about if I think Earl need a soft touch. Earl say he don't do that. He don't do tune-ups. They not his pedigree. This came out of his own mouth. And even if he were to do a soft touch, I can almost 1,000,000% guarantee you it wouldn't be Conor Benn. First of all, Conor Benn is with the zone. Second of all, Conor Benn is a known drug cheat. He still hasn't been vindicated. So I don't even know why Conor Benn is getting all this attention in the first place. Like he shouldn't even be, what's the word? He shouldn't even be a reputable opponent right now. He hasn't been cleared of anything. Somebody say Tank gonna need a tune-up. Of course Tank is gonna take a tune-up. And I feel like whoever kind of started this, I say propaganda train, like you already knew Tank was gonna be a tune-up. You already knew his next opponent wasn't just gonna be the best out there. He hasn't fought in how long? When was the last time Tank fought, y'all? When was the last time Tank fought? Somebody say it's Gary Russell Jr. That's the oldest one at 126. So Gary Russell Jr. from 126 is going to jump up 2 weight classes with Tank off a long, like a 2-year layoff and an injury, it's gonna look like Charlo and Canelo. It's gonna look like Charlo and Canelo, and he's probably gonna get brutally stopped if we're honest. I mean, I don't want to see the fight. I'm sure a lot of Tank fans don't want to see the fight, and I'm sure a lot of Tank detractors don't want to see that fight. But see, once again, if they feel like it'll be profitable, then maybe they'll make the fight, because that's what their goals are, is to make the most profitable fights. So let's see. It says, I think most PBC fighters should start off the year with tune-ups, in my opinion. I think they should do tune-ups. I don't think you should be, like, if you're Gary, you shouldn't be jumping into no big fight and you ain't fought in 2 years and you coming off an injury and you're going to jump in there with Tank. You might be a tune-up for him, but he definitely ain't no tune-up for you. It says Stevenson or Haney is his only test. He's going to run through everybody else. But that's not Tank's fault. That's not Tank's fault that Stevenson or Haney is his only test. First of all, Shakur Stevenson is a top rank, and he's allegedly fighting his last fight. And if he goes somewhere where he can make that fight, then I'm sure they'll make the fight if he doesn't try to price himself out the fight. Omega Red in the building. What's going on? Smooth Criminal say Tank be in here, Baltimore chilling for real, for real. That's what's up. That's what's up. I don't think Tank fighting Pac-Man, Gary, or Connor. He just trolling, getting the buzz up for his fight announcement. I mean, he might be doing that, but it's a lot of people that's taking this stuff really serious. I mean, they on Twitter calling the man all kind of names. They on their YouTube channels yelling how he a duck. Like, dude, nothing has ever been official. So first of all, let me tell you what I classify as a duck. To me, just to give my 2 cents, what I classify as a duck is somebody, because you may have some people say, well, you know, I'm not ready for that fight. Give me another 2 years. To me, that's not a duck. To be a duck, to me, and sometimes you may have business that just doesn't work out. We can't agree, kind of like the Frank Martin, Shakur Stevenson situation. They just didn't want to give him the little extra money. To me, that wasn't a duck. The business just didn't work out. To me, a duck is when you are asking for things you for sure know you're not going to get, or you're just being extremely unreasonable in negotiations. To me, that's when it becomes a duck, right? To me, that's when it becomes a duck. Nobody has done any negotiating. Nobody has made no contracts, sent no contract. Nobody has done any of that. So just to give my 2 cents, I don't think nobody has ducked nobody. That homeboy say Bill burned bridges over there with the PBC, in my opinion. Money Brown TV, what's up? What's up? We got Money Brown TV in the building. I'm sure Bill Haney has probably burned a lot of bridges throughout the boxing world. I'm pretty sure he's done that, because he running over there to Saudi and he's claiming they got all this money and they want Devin over there. So, I mean, I feel like if that's the case, why is Oscar sending Devin the contract? Why is Devin complaining about the contract with Oscar? Why didn't the Saudis send Ryan an offer like they did Tank? I mean, I'm just asking. If anybody know, let me know and drop it below. I'm just asking. I just want to know, why didn't the Saudis just send him an offer, a $10 million offer, or a $5 million offer? Since Bill and them can send out contracts and stuff. Yeah. Key in the building. What up, Key? What's going on? Yes, Conor Ben and Tank went at it before. Ben called out Tank previously. Okay, thank you, Key. So knowing that they have a back history and a backstory, that makes a little bit more sense about why they're going back and forth on Twitter and he trolling Eddie Hearn. And that's it, guys. Y'all know good and well that Tank Davis is not about to go fight no doggone Conor Ben. The man is not even nowhere near his weight class. So everybody all in the uproar got they panties in a bunch. Like, let's stop this. Let's just use a tad bit more common sense. Just a tad bit more. Gregory says, I am beginning to think these fighters are beginning to like the drama of internet fighting instead of actual in-the-ring fighting. But, Greg, it's not the fighters. That's causing the drama. It's the other, like, they could have went back and forth on the internet and people could have been like, hey, y'all seen Conor and Ben going back and forth on the internet. Earl said something to Conor Ben. Nobody was making videos about that. Nobody was making videos about that. But they just took it and run with it. Oh, he can fight Conor Ben, and Conor Ben weighed in at 170 and this and that. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. The business of boxing always trumped the sport. I agree. PBC needs a channel where their fighters can stay active, like USA Today and Night Fights. 2 Cent Box. Let me see. Money Brown TV say 2 Cent Boxing the Truth. Omega, good call. Appreciate that. They got a different set of standards for Tank, and people get real disrespectful and personal when they hear Tank name SMH. And then and I'm glad you said that they got a different standard for Tank, because I didn't see now one video where people mentioned anything about Devin fighting Conor. So Devin can fight Conor Ben and it's not an issue, but if Tank want to fight Conor Ben is an issue, and let's say Tank do want to fight Conor Ben, right? Hypothetically speaking, because I don't think they're gonna fight. How y'all know he not fighting Conor Ben as a tune-up to fight Devin? How y'all know Tank Davis wouldn't fight Conor Ben as a tune-up to fight? Conor Ben weighed in at 170. Devin weighed in at 165. Maybe he wants to get in and fight a bigger fighter so he can get a tune-up to fight Devin next. We don't know. So let's kind of think outside the box before we just start going off on people. I just don't understand. So let's see the next topic we got right now. So Leonard Ellerbe sets the record straight while we on this topic. I recently seen an interview with Leonard Ellerbe, and they were asking him about the Devin Haney fight and if they gonna make the fight and this and that, right? And Ellerbe was just like, listen, Tank Davis is 135 fighter, period. Now, if he decides to move up and he wants to fight, he decides to move up and he wants to fight. But what Ellerbe said was Tank can fight at 135 and he could make 130. So to me, my 2 cents when I heard Ellerbe say that, I felt like Tank will probably move down to fight somebody before he moves up to fight somebody. And that should be okay. Like, you can't keep, you listen, I don't understand the whole moving up and then vigorously calling me out to move up to fight you. Like, that's weird to me. And the fact that we're still having this conversation and that this is still going on, and that I watched an interview with Bill Haney. The dude was asking him about the Ryan Garcia fight. Bill Haney's completely ignored the dude and started talking about Tank in Saudi Arabia. Why? If Tank is ducking Haney, then let it go. Move on and go talk about fighting somebody else. Why are we still talking about that? And then Leonard Ellerbe brought up how the PBC model is you get paid what you weigh. So you're not about to come over here and just dictate payments and splits and stuff like that when you don't bring that to the table. PBC pretty much pays their fighters on a quote-unquote commission-based model, right? You get small guarantees on the front end, and then whatever you make on the back end, you split that. So if I'm Tank Davis and I'm doing 250,000 pay-per-view buys and you do 50,000 pay-per-view buys, you're not going to come over here be asking me for no 50-50 split. It's just that simple. First of all, you want me to move up. You want me to fight at a weight that I'm uncomfortable, and you want 50-50. Like, that's not how that works. When in the past and you fought other people, you've made concessions. You were easy to work with. It wasn't none of this back and forth. You wasn't trying to disrespect me and get me to be disloyal to Al Heyman, Amazon Prime, go fight all the way in Saudi Arabia. You wasn't doing that with other fighters. So why you doing that with me? I don't understand why you doing that with me. So he basically letting y'all know off the rip. Like, I don't know if he's saying the fight ain't happening, but he's definitely saying it's not happening right now. And Tank is a 135 fighter, period. And if anybody wants to fight Tank, they need to get to 135 to fight him. It's just that simple. Like, it's almost as if the Haney propaganda machine is going to keep pushing this and almost try to shame Tank into the fight, or try to get the fans to apply so much pressure on Tank where he just gonna break and then take and do anything to take the fight. Hopefully he doesn't do that, and it seems like he's being advised correctly, because I don't want him to do that. I don't want him to do that unless he wants to do that. Like, let's be fair. Like, treat me like you was acting with Bob Arum when you was over there with Cambosos, when you went to Australia twice and you took the less of the split and you did this and you did that. Treat me like you do Eddie Hearn. And it's weird to me how all these fighters can be agreeable, negotiable, and all of this stuff with these other promoters, but when it comes to PBC and Al Heyman, it seems like they go over there and be trying to punk them. No. And trying to play them. If you're coming from one pay structure and going to another pay structure, then abide by the pay structure. And a lot of people say, well, what did Hector Garcia, what did he bring to the table? What did this big person bring to the table? How many pay-per-view buys did they do? And they're not understanding that the issue is the pay that they're asking for. I remember a couple of years ago, I seen Ellerbe on the Porterway podcast, and they asked him about Devin Haney. And even then, Ellerbe was saying they're going to want too much money to make that fight. So let Devin Haney keep fighting. Let Devin Haney build his name up, and then we can visit it. I don't even know how many years ago I seen it. Maybe it was like 3 years ago, maybe I seen it. Because he already knew they were going to want big money. And he told Devin Haney then what to do in order to get the fight and get the money that he wanted. Get your name up. Get your weight up. You get paid what you weigh over here at the PBC. Let me see what y'all saying in the comments. It says exactly they act dumb like they don't know Tank at 135. The man is at 135, y'all. He's a 135 fighter. He moved up to fight one fight. Maybe he was testing it out. Maybe he was quote unquote daring to be great. And he went right back down. Matter of fact, he got the belt and then dropped it right away. So that lets you know right there he ain't planning on staying there. At least he's not out here announcing his retirement. Slogan one, we're going to get to that next. Isn't Conor being suspended over in the UK for PEDs? He's absolutely suspended over in the UK for PEDs, which is why I was saying I don't even know why everybody is all in the uproar. The man's not even a reputable opponent. Right now, he's labeled a drug cheat. He's a drug cheat. Says, remember PBC fighters fight on Fox regularly on TV. They not going to fight. Ben can't make 140, barely can make 47. I honestly don't even know why Ben was over there. Why Bill was over there. Could somebody answer that for me? Where is Devin going to fight Bill at? Is Devin about to go to 154? Is he going to fight him at 150? And then I seen another interview with Bill Haney saying, oh, Conor Ben didn't look too good in the fight. He needs to have another fight first, and then we'll entertain fighting him. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on with Bill, man. It's just getting real confusing. And if he fights Sando Martin next, I'm just gonna listen. If Devin Haney fights Sando Martin next, I'm done with the Bill stuff. I'm not even gonna follow it anymore, because all this, in my opinion, just to give my 2 cents, was just a distraction. It was a bunch of shenanigans, and you just been wasting everybody's time. But that's just my 2 cents. He says these matchroom fighters get caught for PEDs and then somehow get cleared. Listen, Eddie Hearn be having all the drug cheats over there. Eddie Hearn fighters stay popping dirty. That's why Dev didn't get the fight. He moving real funny when it comes to Tank. I don't know. I ain't gonna even say that. Until Haney realized he don't dictate terms, he ain't never getting that fight. He needs to humble himself. Rolly say Tank get his little ass snuffed by Ben. Okay, Rolly. Is that the real Rolly? It say facts, YK Mac. Says Tank not going anywhere. Tank is getting ready for Inouye, have a tune-up, and they meet at 1:30. But you know what, Doghouse? They in a way small, man. In a way is little. In a way, come to 135, that might not be good for him. Somebody find out if that's really Rolly. Rolly, is that you? I need to drop the link. But ain't no way Conor B ain't gonna beat no Tank Davis. Absolutely not. Especially not after the way he looked last night. So while we're on the topic, I want to discuss this real quick about Bill Haney being exposed. So last week I was watching Mill City Boxing, and hold on. Key Alexandria said Inoue already said that he will not fight Tank. And Key also said, no, that's Rolly. No, that's not Rolly. It's a troll account. Hilarious. Okay. So last week I was on Mill City's boxing channel, and I really don't even be on Mill City boxing channel, but for some reason I was watching Mill City boxing live, and Bill Haney hopped up there. And I was like, okay, what Bill Haney doing over here? And so Mill City was like, man, you calling me Cap in the comments? What's up? So him and Bill was talking, and he was trying to tell Mill City what he should be doing on his channel, and how when he interviewed Shakur grandfather, he basically shouldn't have never let him say nothing about Devin Haney being slapped. Now, me personally, I didn't think that story would go as viral as it did or be that big of a deal, because they was kids. So I guess Bill felt some type of way because the story went viral or whatever. So he kept fishing and saying certain things to Bill and asking Bill certain questions and trying to make him answer him in a certain way. And it was just real manipulative and rude, just to give my 2 cents. And I was like, damn, why he doing Mill City like that? So come to find out, Bill took something that Mill City said. He didn't play the whole clip, and he had an account on Instagram posted, right? And so Mill City felt some type of way about that, because he like, it was something about Tank Davis's career being choreographed. And I think what Mill City was trying to say was all boxers have a plan or a blueprint for their career. And then he was like, ain't y'all career choreographed? But he kind of cut that part off. So Mill City came on Fanon International Boxing. Shout out Fanon. And it seemed like he was kind of trying to clear his name, because Mill City has a relationship with Tank and his team. And I'm sure he didn't want to mess up that relationship. And he said that he messaged the Instagram account that had the video up, and they basically was telling him, well, I gotta ask Bill if I can take it down. And Mill City was like, oh, so you work for Bill? And not you work for Bill, but he was like, what you mean you gotta ask Bill if you can take it down? He was like, you basically like, that's not what I said, and this and this and that. And he was like, basically like, Bill told me to do it, and I gotta talk to Bill to see if I could take it down. So he said the guy ran like maybe 4 AI boxing channels, or he ran boxing for a couple boxing channels or something like that. And so to me, when I heard that, I was like, wow. Now, I know a lot of people have been saying, oh, Bill out here paying these channels, but you hear that all the time, right? Oh, somebody saying stuff people don't agree with. Oh, somebody must be paying you. But after the Regis fight, I started to notice like a lot of channels, and it was just kind of weird. It's one thing to just be a little biased. It's one thing to really believe in your fighter. But they was going really ham and hard and saying just a lot of things that didn't make any sense to me, was exaggerated. And I was like, man, this is weird. Like, is Bill Haney really paying these channels to spread this propaganda, right? Because remember all the 20 mil. Then I go around to the channels. Tank was offered 20 mil and this and that, and why he can't take it. No, all of this stuff, right? And I'm like, this is crazy. So when I seen Mill City say that, I thought like, damn, like he could possibly really be out here paying these channels to deliberately spread misinformation and lies. What y'all think? Have y'all seen the same thing I've been seeing, or am I tripping? So I was like, damn, is Bill really out here spreading this misinformation and shit? Like, that is crazy, because it wasn't just like like go out there, say my son the best, say my son can beat anybody. It was really a push, and it has been a push, and it still is a push to make Tank Davis look so bad. Are y'all noticing that, or is that just me? Because now all I'm seeing is Tank don't fight nobody. All he fight is flat-footed Mexicans. Tank is a 30-year-old prospect. Tank ain't been doing this. Even right now today, him and Conor been going back and forth. Now all of a sudden, it's 1,000 videos out about it. And I'm like, golly, like this is wild. So I don't think that's cool. And I don't think it's cool to get somebody to edit a video to put it out, because it's really just deeper than you saying, oh, this is what you said. Because Mill City Boxing, he have all kind of trainers on there. He have all kind of boxers on there. You knew he had a relationship with Tank and his team. And that's like kind of low, man. Like that's real low and manipulative and deceiving and conniving, right? Those are the adjectives that I would use to describe that. And if other people have done that, I've never witnessed it or seen it with my own eyes, seen it unravel with my own eyes, if anybody else has ever done that. So I just wanted to put that out there about, Bill, like he just out here doing some stuff, man, and that's not right. And then I also feel like it's kind of some beef between different channels now over the Bill Haney stuff. Like even within the YouTube community, people are now beefing with each other over the Haney Tank stuff, right? And I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird. So let's see what we're gonna talk about next. Shakur Stevenson retires. We're gonna do this one. We're going to talk about Canelo, Crawford, and I'm going to drop the link so everybody can come up here and drop their 2 cents. So Shakur Stevenson retires because why did he retire, y'all? I still don't know why Shakur Stevenson retired. I do remember him a while back tweeting that he wanted the fight with Navarrete, and Navarrete was about to move up, and it was going to be for a belt and this and this and that. And so when it was announced that, I can't remember who got the fight, Bergachev or whatever the guy name was with the fight, Shakur Stevenson felt some type of way. He hopped on Twitter. Y'all know how he do. And then he said he was retiring. But I started thinking, like, Shakur, you already have a belt, right? You just fought for a belt. You running around saying how this is your last fight with Top Rank. Why would you think that Bob was about to put you in another title fight for your last fight and then let you walk out the door with 2 belts? Like, why would you think that? You already know Bob's thing is to hold on to the belts and to have the belts so he can use them for his leverage. Why would you think that Bob is about to let you walk out of here with 2 belts? Like, I don't understand. And 2, why are you so upset about, I mean, maybe it's the belt you're upset about, but I'm like, dude, the guy coming up from 130 to 135, why you so upset about this fight? Just get another fight, go to where you're going to go and do what you're going to do and keep it moving. To me, retiring is a bit excessive. It's almost kind of like you throwing a tantrum because you ain't get your way, but you're still young. You say you're leaving Top Rank, and so you can move on and continue doing what you're doing. Right? I like what is the point of you retiring? Like, what does that do? Y'all let me know and drop it below. He retires and then what? Does he get out of his last fight and then he can just go somewhere else? Or like, what's the problem? And if we're honest, Bob hasn't really been putting you in the best position since you've been there. I don't think he gave you the opportunity to get undisputed at 130. He never gave you the Lomachenko fight, so you can have an opportunity to shine and move forward and do what you do. You never got the opportunity to get that fight, the Loma fight. You got Loma and Kambosos fighting for a vacant belt. Like, how is Kambosos getting the Loma fight, y'all? What has Kambosos done besides get his ASS kicked, look horrible in his last fight that he actually lost and was gifted a decision, to fight Lomachenko? Like, they want Lomachenko to have these belts so bad. I don't know what Bob obsession is with Lomachenko, but if you ask me, every highly competitive fight Lomachenko has fought at 135, he's lost. And I'm kind of feeling like he's out of his prime. So hopefully Shakur gets it together. Maybe he's struggling with the backlash from his last performance, but man, that's over with. Like, I don't even think people are talking about that no more. Do your last fight at top rank and go wherever you gonna go. But my question is, and I'm gonna ask the chat, where do y'all think that Shakur is gonna go? His management team is Jay Prince, and do y'all know of Jay Prince working with any other promoter besides Top Rank? I've never heard of Jay Prince working with any other promoter besides Top Rank. So I don't know where he's gonna go. And then I can't forget about this, him and Ryan Garcia going back and forth on Twitter. And I ain't gonna lie, Ryan kind of got him. Ryan kind of got him on that one. Ryan be having some clapbacks now, but I don't really know. Let me see what y'all got to say about this one. Make sure y'all punch that like button. That homeboy say for a tune-up, I can see Tank fighting Rayo. Then next up will be Frank or Edwin. I don't know if he's going to fight Edwin since Edwin's already lost. That was my only thing. Like, I would like to see Tank fight Edwin De Los Santos, but he already lost. And I don't even know if he's going to fight Rayo either. Omega Red said people are tired of lies. I'm definitely tired of the lies. I mean, at some point it's good for content, but at some point I'm just like, man, y'all got to stop tripping. Folks out here calling people monkeys. It's a lot of name calling. Yeah, Tank versus Frank or Frank versus Matias is the two fights that seem the most plausible to me. Ellerbe already came out and said the Matias fight not happening. Again, Matias is at 140. And speaking of the Matias fight, I was watching Mill City and he was interviewing somebody from Matias' team. And they said that they was on the phone with Bill Haney trying to negotiate with the man. And he was yelling at them to the point where they had to hang up the phone on him. And I'm like, this is weird. Like, why are you on the phone yelling at people trying to negotiate? And it just make me think like, now Bill running around saying, I talked to Matias people, but they ain't got back to me. Of course they ain't got back to you, Bill, if you on the phone yelling at them. What you mean they ain't got back to you? Shakur aggravated with the business of boxing. He says, I don't blame him. I'm tired of these crybabies on YouTube. Bill Haney is a pathological liar. I don't know. Bill Haney's kind of weird to me, and he seems to be getting worse. Loma was the great white height. Says his ass staying right there with Top Rank. Is he gonna stay with Top Rank? I mean, I'm curious as to know where he gonna go. Probably the Zone. I mean, who he gonna fight at the Zone, Brian? Who is at the Zone for Shakur to fight? It says if he did, well, it's his last fight. He wouldn't want to retire. Keith says he yelled at Matias' crew, but was respectful towards Connor yesterday. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, Keith. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm starting to see when Bill really want and don't want something. Cause you don't want to fight if you on the phone yelling. You don't want to fight if you on the phone yelling at me. Not once, but twice. He said they talked to Bill twice and he was doing that. So they like, hell no, we not fooling with you, man. You gotta have some type of level of respect. So he don't want the fight. Just like he don't want to cooperate to make the Tank fight. It's not Tank, y'all. He don't want to cooperate to make the fight because just to give my 2 cents, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I don't think he want the fight. There, I said it. I don't think he want the fight. I never thought he wanted to fight. I honestly never really thought that they would fight because I felt like Devin would be too big. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this link because I got so many topics I didn't put on here. I'd be all night talking. Y'all come on up here and drop y'all 2 cents. Let me wrench a couple of y'all up right fast. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Make sure you punch that like and subscribe button. I feel like this might be a little good time for me to come on here. I see a lot of people on here I don't normally see on here. Hold on, why I can't wrench you up? All right, I just dropped the link. There it go. Bill said on Mill City that he does not have Al Heyman's phone number. Wasn't Devin with Al Heyman at one point? So how you don't have his number? Or am I tripping? Am I wrong in saying that? And I'm sure, listen, I could call somebody and get Al Heyman number. Seriously. So how you don't have his number? How you don't have his number? Stop the cap, man. Stop the cap, please. So anybody want to come up here and drop their 2 cents right fast? I'm trying to do on here so I can wrench y'all up real quick. Let me see. All right. Doghouse, you already got it. Brian King. All right. Who else we got? Ariana. All right. So the link is in the chat. It says Bill sells a lot of cupcakes. Oh, capcakes. It says Devin grew up in a Mayweather gym and they don't have Floyd's number. It's all cap. Like, seriously, when I seen that video of Bill walking up to Conor Ben in that thing, I was like, what is he doing? What is he doing? At what point are you gonna fight Conor Ben? He said, "Oh, I'm not gonna fight Conor Ben this fight. He needs another fight, and then maybe we'll entertain fighting him." And this is what I see, and this is what I be talking about when I say Devin is never really available to fight Tank. Because how do we not know that Bill doesn't have a 3-fight deal with Eddie Hearn? And I heard him saying, I mean, if I could make a fight, I could make a fight, or if Eddie got something for me, we could make a fight. But that's the same thing that he was saying over there at Top Rank when Devin Haney had that 3-fight deal. He had to fight Cambosos first, and then he had to fight Loma. How he could just hop out the deal and make a fight when he want to. And it wasn't true. It wasn't true. Okay, I think I wrenched everybody up. Let me see. Gregory, let me wrench you up. All right, I think that's everybody. Everybody put a 1 in the chat, so I'll make sure I wrench y'all up. It says he don't want his number. If he did, he would have had it years ago. He got his number. Listen, boxing is not that big for you not to have nobody number or for you not to be able to get nobody number. And the only issue I'm having with all of this is that it's Bill doing the talking. It's Bill doing the talking. Where is Devin? Devin not saying nothing. Devin say a few things here or there. But here you go with Bill. Cloud chasing. So, first let's talk about this. What is up with the Spence and Terrence Crawford rematch? Now, I've been hearing a lot of reports about how the rematch is off and how the rematch ain't happening, right? And everybody keeps saying because Spence had the eye surgery and for various of other reasons. But I haven't heard Earl Spence say anything. All I've heard him say, he came out about the eye surgery. He was very transparent about what was going on with him about the fight. He told Terrence Crawford, get out your feelings and let's do the rematch. And that's it. I haven't heard anything else about the rematch. I mean, I haven't heard anything from Spence about the rematch. But sources and ESPN coming out saying, and apparently Crawford called Tim Tszú's people to try to make the Tim Tszú fight and all this stuff. And I was like, so first we went from Terrence Crawford wanting big money fights and all I want is big money fights and I got 1 or 2 more fights and then I'm retiring. And then that switched from that to fighting Tim Tszú. Oh, if I fight Tim Tszú, I'll be a 4-division champion. It'll be legacy. So honestly, we're unclear on what it is that Terrence Crawford really wants. because he keeps going back and forth and flipping back and forth. First you want big money fights, now you think Tim Tszyu is available, now you want to fight for a belt. So I don't know what's going on with Terrence Crawford, and I don't know if he's just trying to be distracting or because it almost seems like they want to convince the fans that they don't want to see the rematch. Are there people that don't want to see the rematch? It's possibly people that don't want to see the rematch, but I feel like after Spence came out and expressed what was going on with him with that fight, a rematch is needed. Because if we don't have the rematch, I feel like we will always be where we're at, right? And Terrence Crawford says, well, I don't want to fight the rematch because I don't like the way how Earl Spence handled the loss. Chat, please put a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. You don't want to fight the rematch because you don't like how he handled the loss? How did he handle the loss? And this is my theory. This is my 2 cents. I feel like Terrence Crawford knew that something was going on before that fight, which is why he kept saying, oh, when I beat him, it's going to be a bunch of excuses. It's just going to be a bunch of excuses because why are you saying that? And I'm not talking about 5 years ago when he said it. I'm talking about how he was saying it before the fight. When I beat him, y'all going to be saying it was a bunch of excuses. It was a bunch of excuses. Well, how would you know that? Right? So now that you beat him and people want to call it excuses, but the man was, this is what he had going on. So I don't know when is an excuse to people, right? The man couldn't see, and all, of course, it was all Earl's fault, him being irresponsible. He should have did what he was supposed to do. He should have understood about that. Him and his team should have understood about the altitude in Las Vegas, right? Because all of that's his fault. All of it. Nobody's blaming Crawford. However, you're contractually obligated to a rematch. Like, it doesn't matter how you don't want to fight the rematch because you don't like how he took the loss. So what do y'all think? Do y'all think that this rematch is happening? I haven't heard nobody say it's not happening. And I'm like, well, if it's not happening, why won't they just come out and say it's not happening? Why wouldn't PBC just come out and verify that the rematch is not happening? Like, why would they? Y'all get what I'm trying to say? Like, why would they just keep letting us think it's happening? It's not happening. Why would they keep us in the air like this? But I haven't heard nobody say it's not happening except whoever wrote that article on ESPN, which we know ESPN is Crawford's propaganda train. Who else? I don't know if Rick Glacier said nothing, but you already know he anti-PBC. And if the rematch doesn't happen, who do y'all think that Terrence Crawford is going to fight? Because everybody Terrence Crawford wants to fight is on the PBC. And if the rematch is not happening and he fights another PBC fighter, then PBC didn't want the rematch. That's my 2 cents. Omega Red say, I don't pay attention to any gossip. I just wait until the fight is announced. Well, you know, I'm a content creator, so technically it's my job to pay attention to the gossip. That whole boy say, I know he don't want that smoke with Earl. Key Alexander say, I was under the impression that Bud has to adhere to Spence activating his rematch. That's what I was under the impression too. But from my understanding, he has a year. They have a year from June to fight. Yes, the fight was supposed to be an immediate rematch and take place in December, but it didn't. And a lot of people are saying, oh, they have a network. But I don't think that made the contract null and void because they did have a network. Y'all just ain't know what the network was. Y'all really think that Al Heyman and PBC was running around here, had no idea that they was finna have to find another network, and Showtime just went out of business and they was just scrambling around? Come on, y'all. That don't even make no sense. Now he on Twitter calling for Canelo. And that leaves me to my next topic. Canelo versus Terrence Crawford. Now, put a 1 in the chat if you would like to see Canelo versus Crawford and if you feel like that fight would be competitive. Put a 1 in the chat because I'm going to give my 2 cents about that fight, right? This is my thing about Terrence Crawford. I do feel like Terrence Crawford is a good fighter, right? He has a good style, moves around the ring good ring IQ, all of this stuff, right? He's a great fighter. He's knocked out, right? Everybody he's fought at 147. But when you say knocked out, right? He's TKO'd them, which means the fight was stopped. He wasn't physically knocking people out cold and getting a 10 count. That wasn't what he was doing. Hell, he didn't even knock out Earl Spence and get a 10 count. That's not what he did. The fight was stopped. TKO. So, what I don't understand is, why do people think, and listen, I'm about to drop the link because I want somebody to come up here and explain this to me if you want to. Why do people think that Terrence Crawford is going to move up 3 weight classes, fight the undisputed champion at 168 pounds, and knock him out? Why do people think that? I don't get it. Terrence Crawford ain't been knocking out nobody, y'all. He didn't even knock out Earl Spence Cole. He didn't even knock him out. He knocked him down. He didn't knock him out. He don't have that type of power, y'all. Canelo go all the way up to 175 and fight 175 pounders and he don't get knocked out. And I don't think what people realize is, putting on an extra 20, 21 pounds, you're not finna be the same fighter. You ain't got no acclimation to the weight. You running up there 3 weight classes and fighting Canelo, and you seen what happened when Canelo caught Charlo with one of them punches. I guarantee you that changed his whole game plan. Oh, well, Crawford ain't Charlo. He gonna go in there and fight. You don't know that, and he don't know that, because he ain't got hit with one of them punches yet. And I don't think that Crawford hits harder than Charlo. And Charlo was hitting Canelo with some solid punches. Canelo was eating them, walking straight through him, walking straight forward, right? So honestly, y'all can think Crawford gonna go up there and give a better fight. But if he does go up there, if he do go up there and try to fight, I think it's gonna look like Andrade and Benavidez, right? Andrade was moving around. He was popping shots. He was catching Benavidez. What happened soon as Benavidez caught him? Changed the whole thing. See, Crawford going to be up there with an extra 20, 21 pounds on there. He not going to be as quick. He not. His stamina not going to be the same. It's not. It's not going to be the same, y'all. He's not going to be the same fighter at 168 as he is at 147. Now, if Crawford go up there and fight a fight or two at 168, maybe it'll be a different story. But to believe that he's going to go up there, it's going to look worse than Charlo, if you ask me, because he might go up there and really try to fight. Or he might go up there, do the same thing Charlo did, don't give a damn about what y'all thinking, because all he wanted was his payday. At what point in Crawford's career did he ever care about the fans or try to please the fans or want to fight the best? Like, when in Crawford's career was he ever like that? When was he ever like that? He's never been like that. So now all of a sudden he like that? Listen, it's just my 2 cents. I don't think so, y'all. I don't see it. And even Espinoza said, hey, man, it's a possibility we'll make the fight, but we got to figure out a way to market it, because they've already done the 2 weight class thing, and you see how that went. You see how that went. The whole boy say they Lulu. Doghouse say knockout TKO, it don't matter. They both got KO in it. Come on, Doghouse, you know it matter. It matters. See, let me tell you why it matters. It matters because you got the Crawford fans running around here saying that Terrence Crawford is going to knock out Canelo. No, he's not. Terrence Crawford don't knock out nobody. Who he knocked out? David Avanesian with the busted gloves? It ain't enough snack in the world. I'm telling you, he's going to go up there. He's going to look like Andrade. He's not going to be able to move like he wants to move at 168, not acclimated to that weight. Maybe they can have a good game plan and can last 12 rounds. He could attempt to outbox Canelo, but if he ain't got no pop on his punches to keep Canelo off of him, what he gonna do? Canelo better fight Benavidez. Bud needs to wait his turn. Bud don't even need a turn, Key. He don't even need a turn. Bud better fight Earl Spence and maybe Charlo or somebody. He needs to stay his butt at 154. I'm telling y'all, Crawford don't give a damn about his fans. He don't give a damn about what y'all think. He'll go up there and run around just like Charlo did and get his bread and retire and not care two shits about what y'all thinking. If y'all think Crawford finna go up there and go toe-to-toe with Canelo, I don't believe it. I really don't believe it. I really don't believe it. Somebody say we seen Gamboa rock Bud, and that was at a lower weight class. And Gamboa had came up 2 weight classes to fight Bud and rocked him. Listen, it ain't that much snack in the world, y'all. Crawford is not about to go up there and do nothing with Canelo. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all. If PBC make that Canelo Crawford fight, I'm gonna be shit talking PBC. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna come right on here and shit talk to PBC for making that bullshit ass fight. We let them slide with the Charlo fight because we actually thought Charlo would be able to be competitive. But after seeing that, like, that really made me realize, like, it's literally weight classes for a reason. It's weight classes for a reason. And you're not just finna jump to no weight class and then fight the best in that weight class and think you finna be competitive. Like, Terrence Crawford, you good. You the quote unquote best fighter on the planet, number 1 pound for pound. But I don't see it, bro. I don't see it. Let me see you fight some people at 154. And then look, I seen an interview, I guess, with one of his trainers, and somebody was asking him about fighting somebody at 154, and he was like, well, Crawford don't want to go to 154 because if he go to 154 and then go to 168, he only be doing 2 weight classes. He want to be great. He want to go up 3 weight classes. I'm like, man, y'all sound dumb, man. Y'all sound dumb. Can somebody name me a fight in history? Can somebody name me a fight in history where a fighter went up 3 weight classes and was successful? Because look, I say this all the time. I ain't no boxing historian. I don't know about every single old school fight and none of that. Like, I do watch them. I know about some of them. Oh, here we go. I'll say where Mr. Greg at. Where Mr. Greg at? I know he got the answer. Mr. Greg, do you know of any fights where a fighter jumped up 3 weight classes and was successful against an opponent? Because I haven't seen that since I've been watching boxing. Somebody said 2 cents, you're going to cancel your Amazon account if Bud fights Canelo. And that's another thing. We can't forget Canelo is quote unquote on steroids, right? So not only is he 3 weight classes up, he's also on the clenbuterol. No, I'm not going to cancel my Amazon account. Who was that? Tim Bradley, peanut head self, talking about was going so hard on the PBC card. And that's another thing. Like, why are people so upset about the PBC card? As if it's the most trash card they've ever seen in their life. Is this the most trash card they ever seen in their life? Everybody's so upset about the PBC card. It's not that hard, people. It's simple. Just don't watch the fight. Just don't buy the fight. When PBC ruining boxing, they not giving the fans what they want. It's a horrible card. Listen, PBC don't have soldiers at your house with guns to the back of your head, making you purchase the pay-per-view. If you don't want to watch it, then don't buy it. Like, y'all are not gonna tell the PBC what they need to do with their business. First of all, it's the first PBC card on Amazon Prime. So if they put on the best card they can put on right now for the first one, what they gonna do for the next card? Exactly. It's not gonna make no sense. Says, I believe he will fight Canelo. I don't think he will win. I believe he'll schedule a fight with Canelo, but when he get in the ring, I don't think he fighting him. That whole boy say, not one comes to mind. Key Alexandria says, no one comes to mind. Gregory says SSL went to 175 to fight Donnie Lalonde. Did he win? Canelo has never been stopped, and I doubt that Bud will stop him. I do believe if they do fight, it will actually be good. I don't think it'll be good. It may be good for a round or two, but what happens when Canelo catches Bud? What happens when Canelo catches Bud? I just don't see him being able to withstand that. Akello Netter, what's going on? Hold on, Akello Netter. Let me do this for you. Here we go. Here we go. All right. People are weird on how they react to boxing. Dudes be crying and or cheerleading. Okay, Gregory say he won. So he went from 160 to 175. That's what you're saying, Mr. Greg? My thing is, he not no vicious knockout puncher. He's never been no vicious knockout puncher. He's never really fought the best, right? Terrence Crawford didn't fight Adrian Broner. He didn't fight Danny Garcia. He didn't fight Keith Thurman. He barely just fought Sean Porter. He didn't fight. I mean, all the top welterweights you can think of, he didn't fight none of them. He went from 147 to 175? Man, when was this? I want to look that fight up. That sounds crazy. That holy boy say Bud will run around the ring just like Mel and Shakur. He absolutely gonna run around the ring. He absolutely gonna run around the ring. He didn't even knock out Earl Spence, y'all. A broken Earl Spence, blind, ribs hurt, altitude, all this Earl Spence had going on. He still didn't knock him out. Still didn't knock him out. So to me, that just made me think, like, I don't know what he gonna do with Canelo. And I know a lot of people say, well, y'all wanted Spence to go fight Canelo. Shit, that was before I seen Charlo fight him. And I was like, ugh, that might not have been a good look for Spence, trying to go up there and fight Canelo. Because Spence wasn't gonna run around the ring like that. He for sure gonna get his ass knocked out. I think Roy Jones went up in weight but lost. Do you remember that? I may be wrong. I think Roy Jones went up to heavyweight and won, and then I think he might have tried to move up again and lost or something to that effect. Roy won when he went up. But we can all agree Terrence Crawford ain't no doggone Roy Jones. Roy won when he went up to heavyweight. Roy went up to heavyweight and he won. Oh, he lost when he came back down. Yeah, he lost when he came back down. I thought in one of those fights he lost. Oh, when he came back down. Yeah, when he came back down, he won. Because I think he had issues trying to cut the weight. I didn't. Not right from 147 without a tune-up fight first. Really, the issue is Canelo just needs to fight Benavidez. Canelo just need to fight Benavidez. I mean, I think him and Jamal will be a decent scrap if Jamal is together. What y'all think? Y'all think Jamal stand a chance against Canelo? Or would y'all put money on Jamal? I guess that's what I'm asking. Y'all think Jamal stand a good chance against Canelo? Or no? What y'all think? All right. And the last topic I got for the night, which is quick. Tyson Fury pullout game is strong. Now, I'm not really a Tyson Fury fan, but a lot of people try to discredit Deontay Wilder because of a lot of people think that Tyson Fury cheated him in the fight. I believe Tyson Fury cheated him in the fight. Tyson Fury tried to get out of the rematch. He had to take the man to court, damn near sue the man to fight the rematch. And so here we are, right? They wanted Tyson Fury to be the face of the heavyweight division so bad. So bad they wanted Tyson Fury to be the face of the heavyweight division. For whatever reason, they definitely didn't want it to be Deontay Wilder. They wanted it to be Tyson Fury, a man that has got caught cheating multiple times, dirty tactics. He's a dirty fighter. And from my understanding, the way Tyson Fury got his eye busted was he was trying to wrap his hand around whoever head he was sparring, like wrap his hand around and then uppercut him at the same time, and the dude hit him with an elbow. So Tyson Fury got injured trying to do some dirty stuff in sparring. Now, it wasn't even a lot of buzz for this fight. I didn't hear a lot of people talking about it. I don't even think a lot of people really cared about it. But and everybody just felt like they knew Tyson Fury was gonna pull this. When I'm going around looking at comments and stuff, they're like, I knew Tyson Fury was gonna pull out this fight. I knew he was gonna do this. So just to give my 2 cents on this real quick, and y'all can let me know what y'all think. Tyson Fury has ruined the heavyweight division, especially after that performance with Ngannou. He came in there fat, out of shape, didn't take it serious, getting knocked down. He was able to pull it off because he's more experienced than Ngannou. But it just wasn't a good look. It wasn't a good look for him, and it wasn't a good look for the heavyweight division. And a lot of people believe that however the heavyweight division is doing at the moment, that's how boxing as a whole is doing at the moment. And right now, the heavyweight division just isn't doing good. We're waiting on an undisputed heavyweight fight. Tyson Fury's holding it up. I believe he's been holding it up the last 2 years. But this is their king. This is who they wanted to be the face of the heavyweight division, and I don't know why. And so when I hear things about Tyson Fury, I see his antics. I see how he is. I see the dishonesty. I see the pulling out of fights. It's not very hard for me to believe that he cheated in that Deontay Wilder fight. And it's not very hard for me to believe that the powers that be let him cheat in the Deontay Wilder fight. You can physically see the man glove flopping back and forth, and people will still argue with you to this day that man did not cheat in that fight. They will argue with you about it to this day. So now the fight has been postponed again, and I don't really care about the fight. I really felt like Tyson Fury would beat Usyk. I mean, I just feel like he's too big. He's a good boxer, blah, blah, blah. But I don't even know anymore. I don't even know. I don't really care. I just want to drop my 2 cents about that since it was a big topic in boxing this week. And let's see. That's pretty much all the topics I had. So what's on your mind, chat? Anybody got anything they would like to speak of? Let's see what y'all talking about in the chat. I did not write from Rare 47 without a tune-up fight first. I truly think that Canelo versus Benavidez will be the biggest fight in boxing in 2024. What y'all think the biggest fight in boxing can be in 2024? Key got Benavidez and Canelo. Man, that would be a really big fight. I think that'll be a really big fight, but will Canelo take that fight? Will Canelo take that fight? And if you think about it, Canelo should be like, yeah, I'm gonna fight Jamal and then I'm gonna fight Benavidez. He should they should be building the fight right now. If they started building that fight right now, it absolutely will be the biggest fight in 2024. But let me see. That'll be one of the biggest fights of 2024. I know a lot of people think Tank and Haney will be a big fight, but I don't think Tank and Haney will be a big fight. I think it'll be a good fight, but it's almost kind of like they share a fan base. It's just that the fan base has been split, right? Because who else is checking for Tank and Haney besides Crawford Spence type fan base? And then that fan base is split in half. And I feel like the fight and the drama has been a little manufactured. So I don't know if the fight will be as big as we think it is. But that's just my 2 cents. He stands a better chance than Crawford. Of course he does. Key say Maul will lose. He ain't ready for Canelo. I mean, but will the fight be competitive though, Key? Do you think it'll at least be competitive? SSL actually won the title at LHW. Roy won the title at heavyweight. Okay. I think Maul will give Canelo a run, but from him not being active, he will lose that fight. That's what I'm talking about right there, that whole boy. That's my biggest gripe with PBC fighters is that they get these big opportunities and they're not ready for them because they've been freaking in layoffs. It's just not cool. Lee McAllister went from 154 in 2018 up to heavyweight and fought Lee Kellett and won the belt. Mike Tyson beat him for the belt. Okay, let's see. Lee McAllister went from 154. He went from 154 to what? To heavyweight in 2018 and fought Lee Kellett and won the belt. So heavyweight is what, over 200 pounds? Mike Tyson beat him for the belt. Okay. But was he listen, it's not even just moving up and fighting somebody. You moving up and fighting the undisputed champion in the division. It's not just like you fighting any old body. You fighting the undisputed. 3 women fighters have done this as well, FYI. Come on, Doghouse. You know that women division is different. Clarissa Shields came into women's boxing and got 2-time undisputed in 12 fights. So, come on. Yeah, he tried to hold his head down and uppercut him. Yeah, and you get hurt and mess up the fight because you're doing some dirty stuff in sparring. Like, this is your character. This is the type of person you are. I'm so sick of Tyson Fury, man. I'm not a fan of Tyson Fury. I barely be wanting to talk about him, but it was a hot topic this week, so I thought I'd just bring it up. Since I don't even watch the heavyweight division anymore. I watched that Day of Reckoning card, really because Deontay Wilder was on there, but I was trying to get back into the heavyweights, but they just, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just not, they got to do something different. I don't know if they need to just bring up, like, what's going on with Jared Anderson? Like, when he going to come up and step up and fight some big competition? When he going to move up his level of competition? Anybody but Tyson Fury. Says, what up with Canelo versus Bud in September? Y'all think Crawford can take Canelo's power? Canelo and Bud are not fighting in September. Wiz. How you doing, Wiz? Make sure y'all punch out that like and subscribe button. And if you're listening to the replay of this live, make sure you let me know and drop it below your 2 cents. I should have been saying that throughout the live, but I forgot. No, I don't think Crawford can take Canelo's power. I don't. I really don't. T.O. fighting Thursday night. Who y'all got, T.O. or Jermaine? Look, I've been watching T.O. dancing on his Instagram. He looked like he in shape. He looked like he ready for this fight. My husband turned around. He like, why he fighting on Thursday? I don't know why he fighting on Thursday. Bob got all his people fighting on Thursday. The heavyweight champ usually is the crown jewel that all promoters want. And if Wilder had kept his title, I believe he would have been undisputed. PBC would have been able to dictate the game across the board. I mean, is that why they didn't want Wilder to get those belts? Now that you saying that, Greg, that just put a light bulb off in my head. That's why they didn't want Wilder to get them belts. That makes a lot more sense now. And they told Deontay Wilder to leave Tyson Fury alone. Just like they told Errol Spence to leave Terrence Crawford alone. But, hey, y'all know these boxers do not listen. Daniel should be unified heavyweight right now, in my opinion. Who is Daniel? Oh, you mean Deontay? Y'all think Tank versus T.O. will be a good fight? A big fight? I think that'll be a big fight. Do y'all think Tank versus T.O. is a bigger fight than Devin versus T.O.? I mean, Devin versus Tank? I think so. Says Tank and Devin will be big for the culture, but not commercially. And that's what I'm saying, Akilo. Like nobody, it's like nobody getting that. Nobody get that. Like it would not be a big commercial fight, and you can't come in here trying to ask for a whole lot of money. You can't come in here trying to ask for a whole lot of money because this fight not finna generate that. Come on now. Kettle was the champ. You gotta be undisputed now. That's a 4-weight class jump. Okay. Say I'm going with the brother. If the takeover show up, I got T.O. winning. T.O. stops that boy. I think T.O. gonna stop him. I might throw some money on a knockout. I might throw some money on a knockout. Kia Jones say, did they really tell Spence to leave Crawford alone? I didn't hear that. They absolutely told Earl Spence to leave Terrence Crawford alone because he was bullshitting. And even Spence said, I agreed to some things in the contract that my team didn't think I would agree. That even my team didn't think I would have agreed to. He took money out of his own purse to pay Crawford. They told him to leave, to just leave it alone. Like they really did. And maybe it was after how he handled the first negotiations. Because it got to a point where they was like, his team don't want the fight. They don't want the fight. And they was trying to make it seem like, oh, his team was so scared for Spence. But it wasn't that. It was how you handling us and how you bullshitting. Like, leave this nigga alone. And honestly, after he ran off to fight Avanesian, I was just like, forget it. Like, I don't even want to see it no more. Right? It just, I feel like it would have did more pay-per-view buys if that first negotiation would have went through. But after he kind of maneuvered and played like that, it kind of just killed the demand for the fight, just to give my 2 cents. But they absolutely told Earl Spence to leave Terrence Crawford alone. He's just too hard to deal with. He's too hard to negotiate with. He played too many games. He just played too many games, and Spence didn't listen. Tank versus T.O. T.O. with Top Rank, though, and I don't think he got no thoughts about leaving. But maybe Bob will make the fight. But T.O. will run off and make a fight on his own. So maybe we could see Tank versus T.O. But nobody calling for that fight, though. Why nobody calling for Tank versus T.O.? If T.O. look good Thursday, I'm going to start making content about T.O. and Tank fighting. Because I'd rather see that than Tank and Haney. ESPN has moved all the boxing matches to Thursday. We thought they were messing with Shakur. I did think Bob was trying to play Shakur, putting him on a Thursday. So let me say this too. So allegedly Top Rank's contract is up at the end of the year with ESPN. Are we going to see content saying Bob put ESPN out of business? Are they going to be making videos about how ESPN about to go out of business and it's Bob's fault? I bet we don't see that. Contracts in, people. Contracts in. Tank versus T.O. is bigger. I think Tank versus T.O. and Tank versus Loma still do around 600K. I still want to see that Loma fight. I mean, I think the Tank Loma fight would be good, but I don't want to see it. Like, why? I don't want to see it. Loma is past his prime, in my opinion, and he's gotten beat up every time he stepped up. Would y'all like to see a Loma Devin rematch? Like, should that be the fight they trying to make instead of running around doing all this other stuff? I was hearing that Devin needs to do a fight that needs to do some numbers and do all this so he can renegotiate his contract. If that's what he needs to renegotiate his contract and get a good contract, he should just rematch with Loma. That should do some decent numbers for him. Why doesn't Benavidez fight better be if David is actually a light heavyweight? Is better be at 168? Which makes sense because Top Rank is trying to do business with Saudi now. Yep. And I heard the Saudi, what's the dude named? Turkey Al-Sheikh say he about to fine Tyson Fury $10 million for pulling out of that fight. He say about to fine, he gonna fine him $10 million for pulling out of that fight. See, They not about to play no games with y'all. You mess around and get beheaded fooling with them Saudis. Because you costing them money. Even though people believe that, listen, the more money you have, the more responsible and cautious you are with your money. So you think somebody got quote unquote unlimited money and they just gonna be throwing it away? They not doing that. They still running a business over there. They not just gonna be throwing money away. That's not how that work. Like they just got unlimited money just tossing the rain. No, that's not how that's about to work. They're trying to establish themselves in the boxing world allegedly. Key believes that eventually it's gonna blow up in everybody's face and it's gonna be some BS that they own. But we're gonna sit back and watch and see. Because if they were so great, then Al Heyman would probably be fooling with them. You never know, but we'll see. This is actually what it is. They are already angry. PBC is paying fighters well, and they have to follow suit. The heavyweights usually drive the sport. So imagine if all promoters have to kiss PBC's ass. Yeah. I mean, man, that makes sense. That's why they let Tyson Fury do Deontay Wilder like that, man. They don't want them to have them belt. But look what's happening now, though, Greg. Look what's happening now. So they prefer what's happening now over PBC having the belts. Is that what you're telling me? No, he is not. He is 175 with 3 of the belts. It says that's why they are trying to fight Tank or Ryan. If Devin fights Sandor and it flops, Eddie Hearn will lose more money. It's definitely gonna flop. I mean, but what you mean flop? You think they're gonna put it on pay-per-view, or is it just gonna be free TV? Oh, okay. You know what I just thought about that you said that? And I heard Bill say, he said that if he could make another fight, then he would be able to make another fight. And I'm thinking now he probably able to make another fight because they need to recoup some of that money they lost with the Regis fight probably. So they'll be like, yeah, you could make another fight, but you probably going to have to pay us that money. And then you're going to have to come back over here and fight this mandatory. So maybe that's what they doing. Because Bill, I'm telling you, Bill, he out here like he borderline begging, if you ask me. People saying he doing a great job of promoting his son, but he out here borderline begging, if you ask me. Says the Devin Loma rematch should have been the way the Haneys went. They wouldn't be running around begging Tank for a fight if they would have. Thank you, Doghouse. I'm trying not to call you detailed. I mean, they will not stop saying Tank. Let's just say Tank ducking you. All right, Bill. Tank ducking Devin. So let's move on. What you got next? Who you gonna fight next? Who you want next? Leave Tank alone. Like, just keep his name out your mouth. Like, I'm tired of hearing about it. The fight not gonna happen, bro. You all at the Conor Ben fight. I don't know why. The man is 150 pounds. I thought Conor Ben fought at 154. Greg says yes. So they rather Tyson Fury be out here bullshitting with these belts, making a mockery of the sport, about to get beat by MMA fighters. So let me ask y'all this too, because it's 1:38. I'm about to get off here in about 5 more minutes. So I'm having a good time though. Y'all having a good time? So what do y'all think about the Anthony Joshua Ngannou fight? What y'all think about the Anthony Joshua Ngannou fight? They trying to make up for the loss. I mean, damn, how much they lost? How much did they lose? And if they lost it, that's Eddie Hearn's fault. For real. Oh, yeah, I seen an interview with Bill today. He was like, let's not talk about Floyd because I'm trying to make a fight and you know how that could go. Floyd got that man hush mouth now. All that. This ain't the Floyd Mayweather era. Y'all scared to say it. Now, who's scared to say it now, Bill? Who's scared to talk about Floyd now, Bill? They in the red. I mean, how much did they actually pay? I mean, I heard their purses was only 1.5 million. It wasn't like they just had no $5-6 million guarantees. Like, how much in the red are they? Eddie Hearn been losing money. he been losing money, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal if you ask me. Straight up, he out here with a cup in the hand. Bill just did an interview with Fight Hype, and the reporter asked him about Ryan, but Bill went right to talk and to Tank and talked about him. That's what I was talking. That's the interview I was talking about earlier, Key. The man asking you about Ryan, and you like, oh, what you say, Tank? And I'm like, dude, like, please stop. And the reporter was laughing like, and then that's another thing Bill do. He tried to manipulate you to say what he wants you to say. It's weird. Like, I could tell he make people uncomfortable talking to them. Why are you doing that? Devin is about to move up. It's no secret. Well, if he move up, he for sure not getting that Tank fight. He for sure not getting that Tank fight. Key Alexander say AJ versus Ngannou is an exhibition. Do you think that Ngannou has an opportunity to beat AJ? And the reason why I say that is because I do know AJ's more experienced. He's the better boxer. He's been a champion. But Ngannou ain't no punk. And he's strong. And you know how timid AJ be acting sometimes. So I don't know, man. He get hit with one of them punches, he could get out of there. But I really don't think Ngannou gonna beat him. I really don't. Are you tired of Bill Haney all up in your videos? Come on over to PBC. All at the press conference. All on the live. I am tired of Bill Haney, dog. He good for content, though. He good for content. He's definitely created this crazy propaganda machine. I've never seen nothing like this. Y'all ever seen anything like this before? I'm new to the content creation space, so, and I watched a lot of Fight Hype video. You know, I watched a lot of interviews and stuff, but I'm kind of new to the space as far as like really, really paying attention to it like that. I ain't never seen nothing like this. I ain't never seen nothing like this. And it just seems so obvious. It says Ngannou about to be 0-2 and about to get wilder. Dude, first 3 fights are Fury, AJ, and Wilder. I really don't think that's cool, Kilo. I don't think it's cool, man. I don't think it's fair to other boxers that have been boxing all their life and has done what they needed to do to get to this point for him to come in and fight Fury first, and then you're gonna fight AJ. Now, my issue, I don't have a problem with him fighting Wilder because one, Wilder don't have no belts. I don't know if Wilder has aspirations of being a champion again. Wilder's 38 years old. He pretty much got one foot out the door. So I wouldn't mind Wilder fighting an exhibition type fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's cool to me. And from my understanding, Wilder was supposed to fight Ngannou first, and then they came along and snatched him away and gave him to Fury. And Fury almost got his ass whooped by him. It says Francis could clip AJ, but I believe AJ will box him and not slug it out. Man, Francis will mess around and he knocked down Tyson Fury. So I don't know why. Well, I feel like he can knock out AJ. He said they trying to rebuild Anthony Joshua. I think Anthony Joshua is done. Not done. Let me not say that. I think Anthony Joshua could be a champion again. I take that back. I'm not really a fan of Anthony Joshua. He just, for him to be a heavyweight, man, he just so soft to me. And I don't know, maybe it's a UK thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe that's how the guys are out there in the UK. I don't know. Say Bill has no choice. They lost money with the Regis fight, for real, for real. But how much money did they lose? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, he out here like, but this is the thing. If y'all lost so much money with the Regis fight and you need this money, why are you being so uncooperative to get the Tank fight? Why are you being so uncooperative to get the Ryan fight? Now, the thing with the Ryan fight is we don't know if it's Bill or Oscar. So it ain't no telling with that. Ain't no telling with that. He getting rude to those fight hype videos. Ain't he rude? Man, Bill Haney be acting like an a-hole with them. And I don't know why you acting like this with the media. Why you acting like this with fight hype? They got like 1 million followers. He is rude, man. Listen, I don't even know what to say about Bill for real. He be being so rude and be trying to tell you what to say and what you ask a question, he be like, you mean such and such and such and such? No, I don't mean that. I mean what I just asked you, Bill. Answer the question. Answer the question. I don't know what's going on with Bill, man. Is he in a state of desperation? Because Bill wasn't always like this. Bill wasn't always like this. Don King didn't lie like Bill does, but Don had great press conferences. Let me go back and look up some old Don King. Says, if Ngannou beats AJ, then I'm done with the heavyweight division. Key, the fact that Ngannou is fighting AJ is making me be done with the heavyweight division. Seriously. Like, AJ, if you have aspirations of being a champion again, you shouldn't even be fighting. Like, you go and try to build yourself back up and be a champion again. But see, Eddie Hearn want that bread. I think Eddie Hearn just as desperate as Bill out here. Eddie Hearn trying to get that bread. And Eddie Hearn will put your ass in the ring and get you beat up. For sure. Eddie Hearn definitely will put you in the ring and get you beat up. Because they trying to do a bud and position themselves as the A side. Man, that ain't happening. That is not happening. And y'all not about to shame Tank into fighting y'all. Says Devin would have to sign a deal with the PBC to get a Tank fight. And Devin hasn't fought a PBC fighter since his Showbox days. I think it might have been Key earlier, or somebody was saying earlier, Bill done burnt his bridges with PBC, basically, is what it sounded like to me. It's what it sounded like to me. He didn't burn his bridges with the PBC. I wonder if he burnt his bridges over there at Top Rank. In the zone, all he got left. I don't know. I'm interested to see. But I know Bill be on this YouTube like we be on this YouTube. He be popping up on people's channels and shit. Like, it be people with 15 people watching Bill to pop up. Like, what are you doing here? They say they are trying to have the public pressure Tank into fighting Devin. It's manufactured, though. And even when you hear people try to argue for it, some of the stuff, it's not no real valid arguments. Like, the argument is Tank don't fight nobody, so he need to fight Devin. I mean, that'd be their argument. And I keep saying, like, y'all keep saying Tank don't fight nobody, but the man is a pay-per-view star. So whoever he's fighting is profitable for him, and that's what his goal is. Al Heyman would have made Ngannou an exhibition fighter. Making him fight real fights is not good for boxing. I mean, not only is he fighting real fights, he coming in fighting the top. The man is ranked in the WBC. They ranked Ngannou in the WBC after one fight, y'all. That's a joke. They ranked this man. And then Wilder lose, they take him out the rankings. Not drop him down, just completely take him out the rankings. You say Eddie Hearn doesn't have killers. Devin will end up like Andrade. Don't come for me, Key. But that's what they want, though. Uh-oh. Shots fired. That's what they want, though. But all right, y'all. I've been on here about 1 hour and 50 minutes. I had a good time. I came on tonight at about 9:50. I feel like that was a pretty decent time tonight. I had a pretty decent crowd, pretty good engagement. Drop a 1 in the chat if you enjoyed it tonight. Let me know. It says, I've asked who has Dev fought. Remember, Dev been at 35 way before Tank got there. I mean, they gonna say Kambosos because he got the belts. They gonna say Jojo Diaz, Linares, and Lomachenko. And apparently that resume makes him better than it's better than Tank's resume. When I thought Tank's fought 9 champions, from my understanding. Don King made the fights we all wanted to see during his reign: the Rumble in the Jungle, Thriller in Manila, Sugar versus Stone, Pernell versus Chavez, to name a few. Man, Don King get a bad rep, man, but Don King was doing it for real. Don King was doing it for real. I mean, Al Heyman doing the same thing. Al Heyman make good fights and fights people want to see. They just want to be hating on that man as if the zone and people wanted PBC to go out of business so bad. Could y'all imagine what boxing would be like if PBC went out of business? Would Top Rank and the Zone put on better cards because they would have all the PBC fighters? Like, what would boxing look like without the PBC? Leave Andrade out of this. You know what, Key? I don't know why Andrade be such a good example for so many things. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. You say that's some across the pond-ish. Loma is the only big name. Linares is questionable. What about Jojo Diaz? And then y'all know what they start. Y'all know what I heard somebody saying on the chat one night? And then I'm gonna let y'all go. Kambosos is better than Frank Martin. I literally heard people arguing back and forth about Kambosos is better than Frank Martin. I couldn't believe it. Once they heard that Tank could possibly be fighting Frank Martin, the discussion was Kambosos was better than Frank Martin. Don King used to talk slick, but Bill is a whole different level. Bill slanders every fighter. Yep. It says, hell no, because they had these fighters before PBC came about and they wasn't putting on great fights. Exactly. Frank will dog walk Kambosos. That's what I'm saying. That holy boy said, I know you fucking lying. I swear to God. I swear. I was like, because I got my headphones on. I took my headphones off and shook my head like, these people cannot be serious. Did they really just say Kambosos is better than Frank Martin? In what reality? In what parallel universe is Kambosos better than Frank Martin? Says those were Devin fans saying Bozo better than Frank. Like, who is Kambosos? Kambosos got beat up for 24 rounds. Gregory says, exactly. That's why they want to stop PBC. Done Ranish across the board, and they don't want to see that happen again. But they can't stop PBC. It just seemed like they just trying to spread a bunch of slander. Like, you got the Rick Glaciers out there. And I don't even understand how Rick Glacier still has any credibility. Nothing he ever says is true. Like, he just be flat out lying. First, he said they wasn't going to get the deal with Amazon. Then they said it was just a distribution deal. They not doing this. And then he said this. And then he said this. And I'm like, dude, you don't ever know what you're talking about. Who listens to you? And I can always tell who listens to Rick Glacier when I hear them talk. I can always tell. But I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. Maybe we'll do the same time next Sunday, and I'll cover all the topics for the week. Without the PBC, Tim Bradley will be the face of boxing broadcast. Not Tim Bradley, peanut head ass. All right. Look, thank everybody for coming out. Please punch that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm Jay. This is our 2 cents. If you're listening to the replay of this live, be sure to let me know. Drop it below your 2 cents.
Ellerbe.